Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to part 1 of What If Deku had Carnage. And just a quick filler, if you don't know who Carnage is, it's the birth child of Venom, aka the second generation of symbiotes, and he's stronger than all the symbiotes besides Null and Toxin. And yes, I am going to be doing a what if Deku had Toxin as well. Because all the ones I've seen, no offense, but they suck ass. So, yeah. Anyways, Deku, this is going to start off at an earlier age. So this is part 1, not part 0. Part 1 is when Deku is at the age of 5. And he got his quirk evaluated, and he doesn't have one. And this doesn't make Deku sad. This makes him lose it. He doesn't lose it like go crazy, he just loses all feeling in himself. He just loses all his confidence and everything else in his body. So when he got home, he pretty much just walked into his room and sat in there for a couple days. Oh, fuck off. Anyways, he would... If you guys ever want cooking lessons on how to cook a cat, I can definitely tell you how. Give me a minute. Sorry about that, and if you guys like my inside joke, tell it to me later. I know a guy. Anyways, Deku would have a spot to run off if he ever needed to, so he would usually sneak out of his room, and he would go to like this foresty area, and he would stay there for a couple hours, and he had his phone on him, and when he looked at his phone, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, as he would say that this is enough for today, as he would he would put his phone in his pocket, and he would grab the bag that he brought with him just to have some entertaining items in there, like a book to read, some things to draw with, just a few things. And he would start walking back. But what he didn't know is that he brought back a certain something. Anyways, as Deku got home and he went to sleep, oh my god. Anyways, now that I got rid of that disturbance, as Deku went to sleep, this black substance would crawl out of the bag, and start going into his body. Deku didn't wake up in a cold sweat, he was completely blacked out. He would wake up the next day in a cold sweat, unknowing why, and he would just go to the kitchen and eat, and he felt hungrier than usual. But what he didn't know is that these red tentacle things were coming out of his arms and legs and his back and body, as they would just shoot out. And they would just reach into the fridge, grabbing all the meat, and it would just hold on to it, as Deku would just, pretty much on instinct, grab onto the meat out of the tentacles and just munch on it. His mom was surprised and disgusted at what she was watching, as she thinks it's his quirk, as she would go to grab onto him, as Deku would pretty much like hiss, or make like a sound in like defense, and just back up, and then just start eating again. She thinks now's not the best time, so she just leaves it. They do get it checked out, and they would unknowingly know what it is, so they would just leave it. As Deku hits the age of, near canon Deku, I'm gonna say it about 2 years earlier, so first year, Deku would figure out that this isn't a quirk, this is something else, as he hears a voice in his head. Well, hello there, host. My name's Carnage. And you see here, I chose you to be my ride. or host, as Deku would say to himself. So you're a parasite? Carnage would reach a tentacle out and slapping Deku in the face and reach it back, go back into his body, and he would say, "No, you idiot. I'm a symbiote. I can't live without a human host. So, if we reach a perfect bond, this will be perfect for us. Now, I'm hungry. Give me a human." Deku would say, "No, I'm not eating a person." As Carnage would have his head in like this goopy form pop out of his back and reach around his head, as it would give me a person, or something to eat at least. I'm starving here. Go get some meat. Raw meat. Not cooked. That shit's gross. Deku would say, "Fine, whatever." Now, as I do that, you're gonna have to explain to me what exactly you're doing here and why. Carnage would grunt and say, "Fine, whatever you want, Pipsqueak." As he would give the backstory of his previous host and all the events he went through, Deku's saying, "Wow, that's pretty interesting." Carnage would say, "Yeah, well, I was pretty much the villain of my place, so if you don't mind, I'd like to keep that rampage going, and here sounds pretty fun. This actually sounds like a place that I can have fun in. There's more people with powers in here than I thought. Even maybe if I eat some of them, I can take their abilities." As Deku would say, "No, we are not doing that." As Carnage would say, "Fine, but I'm still hungry. Give me some food." They would just start arguing with each other about what they're going to be doing and who's mainly going to be eating what, as they would just get a snack, and Deku would ask Carnage what his weaknesses are. Carnage would say fire and sound, and since Venom's weakness is about, I believe, 4,000 mega amps to 6,000 mega amps, we're going to make Carnage's weakness 12,000 to 45,000 mega amps. So that's pretty much near the same, would it be close to the sound of a sonic boom? I'm not really sure. Maybe. I'll just leave it there. As Deku was proceeding to, well, learn all these abilities, and he would pretty much torture resistance himself. He would build up a resistance to these weaknesses by torturing himself, by nearly lighting himself on fire with heats that go up to thermite level, which, if you don't know, is super fucking hot, 4,500 degrees hot, as well as soundify himself with as loud volumes as he can get, going up to the range of 30,000 mega amps. So he still has 15,000 left before he's completely resistant. So, Present Mike can do damage to him, and that's it. Present Mike. Yeah, I know. Anyways, as Deku was... Oh, and, I guess the Todoroki family, the ones that have fire, can do it. If their flames are hot enough, more than 4,500 degrees. Other than that, they cannot hurt him. Anyways, Deku would also learn the abilities of Carnage. Carnage has super strength, super speed, high durability, high regeneration abilities, as well as these tentacle web-like things that shoot out of his body and act as like a clingage to swing around this to swing around the city via like a transportation. He's able to cling to walls, as well as he can full body arm himself with the symbiotes, covering his body like in the picture, as well as the tentacles, and he can form his body, his arms, and his other body parts into weapons and use those. It says he's not as bulky as Venom. He's more agile and more slippery, meaning he can get away faster, and he's also more slick to smaller areas. Anyways, so as Deku was training these abilities for 2 years, it's now the 3rd year, and we're in canon date timeline. Deku's attitude goes from the normal Izuku Midoriya to almost like Curtis from the Carnage, or from the original host of Carnage, so near psychopathic but smart, to almost like a Bakugo, pretty egotistical and such an asshole. And he's right in between, so yeah. Congratulations, we got a Joker and Deadpool mix right here. Anyways, as Deku was pretty much just talking to Carnage. This was in the middle of class, and this was kind of whispering, so he looked insane. As the teacher walked in, and the teacher would throw up the papers as these tentacles would lash out of Deku's body, grabbing all the papers, and then just tearing them to shreds as they went back into Deku's body, as Deku was still talking to himself. The teacher would get a little concerned about this, but he would just shrug it off and say, two students that want to go into UA, Bakugo Katsuki and Izuku Midoriya. And Deku would raise his hand and say, change that, just Katsuki Bakugo, please, thank you. As Deku would go back to muttering himself. They would all be in shock and ask why he doesn't want to. Deku would say that it's not a good idea, especially with his personality. Just think about it. I'm talking like world destruction here. That's my attitude. And you want to invite a person that's like that onto your hero team? Not a good idea. As Deku would go back to just sitting there muttering to himself, well, to them what it looks like, but to him he's actually talking to Carnage. As Deku was finishing up his little chat, he would say, alright, well, I got things to do, so bye-bye. As he would just jump out the window and he would just mask up what what Eddie Brock and Venom would do. He would just turn into the full body suit, and he would just swing away. And that's where I'm going to end it. Hope you guys enjoy. If you guys want to ship in this, tell me who. And tell me who One For All goes to. And, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Oh shit.